The family is calling for better treatment and research, which could have saved their children from being killed by brain tumours.
We want change, and it's very sad for us. But maybe if something had happened years ago, we would have been in a different situation ourselves as a family. We just want to do what we can to save other families from going through the same.
First tonight, the families who want more to be done to provide effective treatments for brain tumours, as a report calls for urgent action to help those affected by the disease.
Yasmin Stannard's daughter Amani was in her 20s when she died from a brain tumour. Louise and Matt Fox lost their son George just months after he was diagnosed with the condition. They've been speaking to our reporter Stuart Leiths.
When Louise and Matt Fox walk around their village of Barton le Clay near Luton, they see dozens of red ribbons left by other villagers in memory of their son George. He died last year of a brain tumour at the age of just 13. And that's why they've backed a new report by the all-party parliamentary group on brain tumours, which is urgently calling for more funding for research and treatments. It's being released to coincide with the start of Brain Tumour Awareness Month.
We sadly found out how desperate it is and how there hasn't been enough research and how there isn't a cure for the most devastating cancer that kills more of our adults and children under 40 than any other cancer. And we just didn't know how bad it was, and we can't bear that his life is going to be in vain now. So we feel in his honour we need to carry on fighting.
After George was diagnosed, they even opted for crowdfunding to try to find more effective treatments abroad.
If someone needs to be sent to America or Japan, the government should have the funds to do that.
Well, we should have the research, and we should have the ability to be able to support people with clinical trials in this country. People shouldn't even be looking abroad.
Yasmin Stannard's daughter Amani was diagnosed with a brain tumour after collapsing on her 22nd birthday, and she died in February last year. The family, who live in Luton, had also raised money to fund additional treatment for her in Germany.
Everything just, fell apart for us as a family, and we had to undergo treatment under the NHS. But very quickly, within 4 months, we'd already exhausted the treatment that was available in the UK. So it was very sad for us as a family to have to go through the devastating diagnosis. But then on top of that, to learn that there isn't much effective treatment in the UK.
The all-party report states that although in 2018 the government pledged £40 million for brain tumour research, only around £15 million has actually been awarded.
Where's this missing money? What was promised? There was £40 million promised, and that hasn't materialised. So where is it?
What all the families involved in the report want is more action to prevent others from suffering the loss that they now have to live with. Stuart Leiths, ITV News.
To talk more about the findings of the report and why its recommendations are so important, let's speak to Hugh Adams from the charity Brain Tumour Research. Hugh Adams, thanks so much for speaking to us on the programme. How much of an impact do you think this report will actually have?
We're very hopeful that this report will be a seismic impact on the brain tumour community. It's really important that we recognise where we were 5 years ago when money was made available for brain tumour research, where we are now, and where the problems have been, where the barriers have been, and what we need to do working together to get us closer to that cure, to put us on a pathway to a cure, to break down any impediments that we have to getting closer to a cure. And that's what the report is all about, and that's why we're so proud to have played our part in telling that story.
Absolutely. Well, we've seen that £40 million was promised by the government, but apparently only £15 million has actually been spent on brain tumour research. So how is it important that the full amount is thrown at this?
It's with huge disappointment we see that, but also we say, OK, well, what can we do to make a difference to actually get that money out there? Because we believe the political will is there to get that money there. The scientists need that money, they want the funding. So somewhere in between, there's the blockage. Somewhere we've got to get in there and sort of say, this is how we do things differently. This is how we get that money moving. This is how we improve options and outcomes for brain tumour patients.
We have seen that things are done differently in other countries. Why do some countries have very different treatment to what we have here in the UK?
So there are things that are available in other countries that you have to pay for. We would like more chances for people to access innovative therapies and clinical trials in the UK because that is the way forward. It isn't about going abroad, it's about staying here and developing the route from the scientist bench to the patient's bedside.
Hugh, thanks so much for sharing your thoughts on this on our programme this evening. Many thanks.